All right, guys, what you're seeing on the screen right now is a daily chart, okay? In this video, I'm going to show you how to properly swing trade, okay? And what I'm going to specifically show you is that no matter what market you trade, whether you trade futures, whether you trade Forex, whether you trade stocks, it does not matter, okay? I'm going to show you how by simply drawing a trend line on your chart, you can potentially generate massive winners just like this at the expense of retail traders. All right, let's do it. All right, guys, welcome to DinoTrading.com, the world's #1 resource on learning how to trade price action techniques, okay? If you've seen any of my videos before, you know that I hate indicators. We don't talk about indicators. We don't use indicators. I'm a firm believer that indicators are only used by retail traders and generally people that don't know what they're doing, okay? And if you've seen any of my videos before, then you know that price action trading and price action trading techniques are the holy grail, if you ask me, when it comes to trading, all right? And like I said, what I'm going to show you here in this video is a simple technique that can be used on any market, Forex, futures, or stocks, or options, right? Anything in the world that's traded. And I feel like if you put in the work on learning this technique and practicing this technique, the sky's the limit, guys, all right, in terms of what kind of trading profits you can achieve using this method, all right? So let's get right into it, all right? The first thing we got to do is what? We got to clean up the chart. We got to go to a professional trading chart, right? So with one click of my mouse, I'm going to take this chart right here, and I'm going to make it look like this, all right? This is a real daily chart. This is what I like to call a price action chart, where the price is organized in a very neat fashion, but more importantly, it clearly illustrates for you all of these pivot points, right? All of these pivot points here, and these are statistically significant areas in the market, guys. You gotta pay attention to pivot points. You can call them whatever you want, reversal bars, okay, up bars and down bars, call them whatever you want. I like to call them pivot points because they mean something to me, right? Now, good luck trying to figure out pivot points on this garbage here, right? I mean, this is the before and this is the after, right? I mean, there's a world of difference here, right? Because this chart by its very nature is a clean and simple chart, but we're not done, right? We still got to do what? We got to pop on our pivot points, and then we got to pop on our trend line. So I'm going to do a little bit of video magic here, and kaboom, just like that, we're going to layer on all of the signals that took place on this daily chart, okay? What I call the swing trading chart, okay? So I'm going to make this simple for you guys, all right? Number one, what's a signal? Right? What is this long signal from 12 weeks ago? What's this short signal from 6 weeks ago? And what is this long signal again from 3 weeks ago? Well, a long signal is simply a trend line break to the upside, right? A short signal is simply a trend line break to the downside. That's it. How do you draw the trend lines? You identify pivot points. How do you identify pivot points? Well, like I mentioned a few moments ago, pivot points are statistically significant areas on the chart that you gotta pay attention to, right? These are areas where price did something. Price either rallied or price was beaten back and sold. For example, here's a pivot point, right? Here's another pivot point. Here's a pivot point. Here's a pivot point. Like, all you're doing, guys, is just identifying pivot points, drawing them, okay, and then connecting those pivot points with a simple, old-fashioned trend line, right? I mean, listen, here's the thing, guys. Trading is popular, right? Everybody wants to be a day trader. Everybody wants to be a swing trader. Everybody wants to make money in the market. And there's so much information out there, right? There's all sorts of garbage indicator like nonsense that people layer onto their chart. So when I say old school or old fashioned, this is what I'm talking about, man, right? Which is the ability of, number one, keeping your charts clean, right? And number two, identifying areas where you can predict the trend to change, right? So as we were in this downtrend right over here, we predicted a trend change, right? When this bar right here closed above the trend line, boss, that's our long signal, right? Whereas this bar here, it didn't actually close. Can you guys see that? It dances around the trend line, but it did not close, right? So this is what I call confirmation, okay? Confirmation that this is a potentially very, very strong long signal. And same thing on the short side, guys. You guys looking to call the tops in the markets? There is literally nothing else you need to do except draw a trend line in this fashion, right? And even right now, for those of you guys that are trying to catch the top, right? You guys are predicting a sell-off and stuff like that. Well, let's just do it with the latest trend line and pivot points. There's a pivot point. There's a pivot point, okay? So if I connect those two pivot points with the straight line, okay, then it's going to look like this. And I'm waiting for this trend line here to be smashed to the downside like this, right? Unless we get another pivot point up here, right? So say another pivot point prints maybe, I don't know, right here, right? So then that would nullify and invalidate this trend line, right? And then all you would do is draw the new trend line just like this, and we'd be waiting for price to smash this trend line to the downside before we take a sell signal, right? And guys, this is not unique to any one particular market, right? This particular strategy is going to potentially work in any market. Forex, futures, stocks, options, it does not matter. If the market that you trade is moving, okay, then you're gonna get pivot points. And when you get pivot points, you're going to get these beautiful, sexy trend lines. You know what I'm saying? And while all those other fools are trading garbage like this, right? Okay, well, traders that are using these type of charts and these type of techniques, all right, are going to be able to catch massive, huge winners, okay, without using any indicators at all, just a very simple and old-fashioned trend line trading technique for swing trading. All right, listen guys, that'll do it for this video. I hope you learned something fascinating in this video, and if you're interested in learning how to automate everything that I just showed you here, you can see I've got some really special products called the automated trend lines, which is going to automate all of these lines for you. Okay, then go ahead and get in touch or click the link below. Guys, thanks for watching this video. Do me a personal favor and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next trade.